Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Miss Vishwapriya Kochar, our visionary leader who gave birth to this unique idea called alcoholic leadership, who brought life to this organization, a mother, a goal digger, and a soul coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Vishwapriya Kochar.
Thank you for the kind intros, Preeti. Throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. Sounds so thrilling, heady, motivating, and wow, inspiring, isn't it? Like a success story. Well, here's the catch. This is just the tip of the iceberg for leaders like yourself and leaders like you. What challenges do leaders in roles of responsibility really go through? How lonely is it at the top? When do they know they need to push or talk? When to shut up? Whom to trust and whom to let go of? A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure having you here. Thank you for taking the time out to join us in this journey. When I began my career, I started out with rose tinted glasses, expecting my line manager, my leader to be perfect, have solutions for everything, be my Superman, well, Superwoman too, only to be completely disillusioned. I had a mentor then telling me that leaders are as fallible as I am, they're as human and brittle too. And not to idolize them too much, well, leadership is merely titular. It's a misnomer, isn't it? It changes with time. It's not merely what's outside, it's more about what's within. Ever notice this scenario out on Bangalore streets? If I'm assuming most of you are from Bangalore here. A rickshaw driver who's uneducated becomes a leader to diffuse a traffic mess when the so-called titular leaders are sitting inside their cars waiting for some miracle to happen. Leadership is leadership only when it stands the test of time, when it's vulnerable, and when it's egoless. We've all heard of servant leadership, right? What differentiates leaders who are successful from others? What do we all need to do to keep going and stay afloat? Well, it's been pretty challenging getting people to understand that alcoholic leadership is beyond alcohol. It's just not about alcohol. It's more about the metaphorical relationship between this vitriolic disease called alcohol in our society and, of course, with leadership. A positive spin to things. Leadership, again, I repeat, not merely titular, but more for the leader that resides within us. With this flagship product of ours, we hope to communicate that not everything is right, wrong, good, bad. Let's move beyond these labels. It's all about perspectives. Moderation is the key. Insights, reflection, and knowing when to push or pull is really the focus. When we carved out the commandments for alcoholic leadership, we were heavily influenced and impacted by our experiences of corporations. Both Sandeep and I have worked for close to, like he said, 16, 17 years across geographies, roles, leaders, colleagues, bosses of different shapes and sizes. We quit because we wanted to follow our hearts, follow our passion, and make a difference to the world. Now, how did this idea really birth itself? I'm a non-drinker myself, all right? And I've been in HR roles with sales folks, teams where people drink, and I hold a non-alcoholic drink all through the evening to chat up and have a conversation. How much of a fit or a misfit have I really been? It's a reality that some of the best personal and professional relationships are made over a drink. A drink needn't mean getting alcoholic. Being a leader here needn't mean allowing the lust of power to get to you. I watch, I observe. How do we behave when drunk? Some of my best colleagues unwind, get chatty, get into a deep life has hit me hard, mate mode after a few drinks. Some of them get angrier, went and talk of their frustrations when they're drunk. How do we behave under duress, under pressure, under crisis? It got me thinking about leadership challenges today and alcohol through my eyes, which is as a non-drinker with leadership experience. In one of my creative bursts and metaphorically powerful moments, I have some of them, few and far in between, I wrote the proof of concept. Then next on LinkedIn, once in a state of delirious non-alcoholic flow, I carved out the 10 commandments of alcoholic leadership. We can't probably, in the paucity of time, cover all of them, but I'd like to take you through maybe 2 or 3 of them and the connects here. One, for example, always hold your drink. As leaders, do we really know how to hold on to ourselves? Do we know the power of presence, how to use our voice? Not pseudo, but authentic executive impact. What are we leaving behind in terms of our intent with people that we touch? Is there congruence, all right? Absolutely missing today. Is there congruence between our intent and impact? Do people say, go to her, go to him, he will bail you out of the situation? Can you trust this person to sort your issues as a leader? Second, for example, know when to say no. Do we continue drinking so much that we don't know when to stop? Moderation, self control, what deals, businesses to walk away from, and what to pursue. How to be the deviant, like Sandeep spoke about the black hat thinking piece. I've had the privilege of working with some very intelligent personalities. For instance, I worked with the Bangalore-based, very renowned Indian cricketer, Mr. Anil Kumble, done a leadership series in sports for about, built a COE, an OD COE for about 3 years with him. His self-control, his ability to push himself, his control over food, his mental fitness, not just the physical fitness, is awe-inspiring. Well, we've all heard of the Reliance guru, Mr. Anil Ambani. He was once asked in a meet, you can't take care of yourself, your health, you're obese. How can I trust you with my money invested in your company? And the story of how this question drove him further to run the Mumbai marathons and move to a fitter himself from obesity, which was destroying his health. One more for you. Knowing your drink, knowing your malt, knowing your brew. For example, market laws, laws of the land, organizational guidelines. Knowing your team, for example, how to stay agile, adapt. Team's strengths, struggles, their touch points. Who can be your best bet? Who's your A player? Who's whiling her time away? Who has a flight risk? Heard of the famous book, Crucial Conversations? It talks of how we behave under duress, and when slighted, we either move into silence or we move into violence. As drinkers, do we know our brand? We all have our favorites, wine, whiskey, beer, or whatever. Do we know our teams? Do we know our markets? Are we constantly swift, agile, competing, and progressing? Well, it's a beautiful product. It's about such deep parallels between alcohol and leadership. You can draw such meaningful insights. It's a leadership capability group coaching offering just by itself, by its sheer content and connects. I let this be for now. I can go on and on about the product. Hope you enjoyed this beautiful and meaningful, insightful talk with Dr. Richard. More about, whims, boors, and candor in this room from the man himself, Dr. Richard. We struggle to have people understand our metaphorically powerful concept. He was just spot on. And remember, dear audience, today when you're holding a drink and walking around this room or outside, you are being watched. We are building our alcoholic leadership product around you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Preeti, back to you.
Thank you, Priya.